go to your journal and copy down the definitions for line of fit, line of best fit, and correlation coefficient. Now take a look at the core concepts about writing an equation of a line. Here you can see we have slope-intercept form and point-slope form, which you should remember from Algebra 1. In the notes, it says if you're given two points, this will be the most complicated one. You'll want to calculate m using y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then you'll want to pick a point and use point-slope form, and then you can solve it for y if you need to get slope-intercept form. So let's look at a quick example. If my points are -5, 2, and 6, 11, I'm going to calculate my slope, so that would be 11 minus 2 over 6 minus -5. So that would be 9 over 11. And that would be my slope. And then I can pick a point. I'm going to pick the positive, the one that's all positive. And I would say y minus 11 equals 9 over 11 times x minus 6. You could distribute the 9 if you wanted, 9 over 11, and distribute it in here, and then add 11 over, and get an equation that's y equals. Or you could just leave it in point-slope form, depending on what the question is asking. Now let's go to your notes packet and look at example 1 in 1.3. We want to write the equation of a line given the slope is 2/3. Remember, slope is m, and the y-intercept is -5. That's b. So this is easy. My equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. So 2/3 x plus -5, or you could just say 2/3 x minus 5. Looking at number 1 below, we want to write the equation of a line using point-slope form. So my x1 is here, my y1 is here, this is my m. What would that equation be? So here's my point-slope equation, and then to solve for y, I distribute my 2, my -2, and then I add 4 over. So my final answer would be y equals -2x plus 2. So now looking at number 2, first we need to find the slope. So I have my 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to calculate slope. What would that equal? And we can reduce this to get -1/2. So my slope is -1/2. Now I'm going to pick a point, and I'll just pick the first point they give me and write the equation in point-slope form. So y plus 2 equals -1/2 times x minus 5. Distribute the -1/2 and then subtract the 2 over to get your final answer. And your final answer will be -1/2x plus 1/2. Go ahead and look at the next page. Look at example 2. You can see here we have a table, and it says 2 prom venues are charging a rental fee. So Sunview Resort is this equation, and Lakeside Inn is the table over here. Which venue charges less per student, and how many students must attend? We know from the equation that the Sunview Resort charges $10 per student. And then we need to calculate what the equation would be for Lakeside Inn. We can think of these numbers as ordered pairs, x comma y. So I'm going to use the first 2 points and calculate my slope. I'll get 1800 minus 1,500 divided by 125 minus 100. What's that going to be? So 300 over 25 equals 12, and now I'm going to use just the first point for my x1 and y1. So y minus 1,500 equals 12 times x minus 100. Distribute the 12 and add the 1,500 over to get your y equals. Now we have y equals 12x plus 300 for Lakeside Inn, so they charge $12 per student, which means Sunview Resort charges less per student. So I'm going to write Sunview charges less per student, and it's $2 less to be exact. Now, how many students must attend for them to be the same? For this, we want to set this equation equal to the other equation. So Sunview, set that equal to Lakeside Inn, and then solve for x. So I subtracted 300 from both sides, subtracted 10x. Now, what's my last step? We divide by 2 and we get 150 students. So if 150 students attend the prom, both venues will equal the same price. Now think, if there were 200 students going to the prom, which venue would cost less? The Sunview Resort, this equation here, or the Lakeside Inn? If 200 students went to prom, which venue would be less?